Hey, we're here at Veggie Eat Express. Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben. We got Jeff here.
Jeff.
And we are here, and we're going to be talking about some really cool stuff today. Turbochargers, superchargers, and what makes them different, you know. So we're going to be going through how to protect them and all different stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and set it up on the truck here.
Even tripods up, and we're
here
following shortly behind.
At Veggie Eat Express. Up, 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 up. It's like the snapper. Damn thing that snaps on.
All right.
Ooh. Go here. And right there. Now I drop my thing, line it up.
I'll fit. I'll give you a good picture.
Thank you, Jeffrey. You're a good man. So we got Jeff, our master technician. Can you tell him about your day, Jeff?
Oh boy. So today was a good day. Busy, tiring, but we made it. We did we did a thermostat today. We did a tune-up on a Corvette.
All right.
Oh boy, we did all sorts of stuff.
Awesome.
All right, let's get us wrapped up in this.
All right. So Jeff's going to go ahead and get us all dialed in. In the meantime, if you're just getting on the channel, go ahead and leave some comments. Let us know what you think about turbos or superchargers. What do you like better, and why?
Oh shit. Oh gosh.
So yeah, I'll help you, Jeff.
There we go. Okay. I think I'm lined up if you're lined up.
You're a genius, Jeff. You're a
Let's
genius.
see here.
Beautiful.
Are we good?
Beautiful. We're both good.
All right.
I'm going to scoot you over a little teeny weeny bit here.
Yeah.
Right there. Is that good, Jeff?
That's beautiful. I'll tell you in a minute.
All right. Jeff's getting everything dialed in.
All right.
So let us know your questions.
Hi, Andrew. James, what's up?
Yeah, let us know your questions on turbo superchargers. Leave a comment.
Cool.
And Jeff and I will be getting to you. And we'll be going over all the different stuff today. We're going to be talking about protecting these turbos with this good stuff. We got premium protection. You say, well, what's so great about it? What makes it premium?
Eben.
Yeah.
What's so great about that? What makes it premium?
That's an excellent question. Well, it's high-zinc, so what that does is it protects flat tappets, protects your camshaft, and it puts an extra thick film between it. And the only thing that separates the metal before it's metal on metal is the film. So this happens to be 100% synthetic right here. See the 100% synthetic, and it has the high zinc in it and phosphorus. And what that does is that really protects your engine exponentially better. So it keeps your heat down, and you'll have a long engine life.
Oh yeah.
And just truly sensational. So this is what most guys run in their Volkswagens, their Beetles, their buses. A lot of air-cooled engines, and there's a lot of specifications. You can actually run that in diesel and gasoline.
Wow, that's nice. Yep. Another thing on the fluids with the added zinc and phosphorus.
Yes.
So I have an older vehicle. I've got an '89 Mustang. Now, with some of the new emission standards, when they went to, I believe the newest one, which was SN.
Yes.
SN, they started taking out the zinc because the newer vehicles do not require that zinc. They don't require any of the heavy metals. Now, you have options. There are additives that you can put in that'll put the zinc in there. But it's really nice just to pour it out of the bottle and to know it's in there to protect. Like I said, '89 Mustang with a 5.0. I like to smash on it. I'm either go or I'm stop. And I want to make sure that I've got, you know, the correct everything in there. You know, my I believe the bearing material in mine's a little bit different. I sure as hell know that the crank is made of iron, the block's made of iron, the bearings are made of cleveite, and for some reason it really likes zinc. So, you know, good stuff.
And they have multiple viscosities, so that's like the 1040. A lot of your older cars take that. Then we also have the 1030, which a lot of Chevys take. So your Corvettes, your all your different classic cars, your old Bel Airs, all your old Cadillacs, all your GM take the 1030, and that's the high zinc Z-Rod. And that's it. So it keeps you protected.
All right. So I heard we're having sound issues on the Facebook for a couple of our people, so I will project a little bit louder.
Yep, we'll keep it super loud.
Projected.
Yes.
All right, so we let's get into it. First off, We're going to clear this. This is going to be our food
Push
table.
that up a little bit for you,
We're
Jeff.
going to be our food table.
All right.
Yeah, let's get set.
So Jeff, get into, let's start off with turbos.
Let's start off with turbochargers. So, we're going to say one of my favorite words in the world. Oh, time to eat.
All right.
You're good. You know the rules. Food first. Okay, so one of my absolute favorite things that you get to learn about as a technician, it's called volumetric efficiency. So volumetric efficiency is how well the vehicle can breathe in air. Now, at sea level, 1 atmosphere, your engine is able to breathe in under optimal conditions 95 to 98% volumetric efficiency, which means the engine's able to breathe in air much as good as it can, okay, without forced induction, which is a turbo. So the higher altitude you were at, the worse your volumetric efficiency is. A couple of the initial applications of turbos, one of the really big ones was aviation. Aircraft, because of the altitude that they fly at, they need a better, a denser air charge. And when you're cruising at, say, 15, 20,000 feet, and you're in a piston engine, not the gas turbines or anything like that. Oh yes, pot stickers.
Can I get just a regular one without this sauce on it?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
a regular veggie salad? I'm sorry.
Do you want the chicken?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
All right. Well, hey, it happens.
All right.
It happens.
All right.
So, all right. So turbochargers up in the sky. We need to force a lot more air, we need it for the combustion.
Yes.
And the higher up you go, the less there is. The molecules are further apart, and so you gotta grab them. That's what a turbocharger did. Awesome for aircraft. Why did we put it on your car?
Why, Jeff?
For fun. I'm just kidding. That wasn't the initial reason. The initial reason for putting a turbocharger on was for fuel economy. Because a turbocharger can increase your volumetric efficiency above 100%, as soon as you reach 1 pound of boost, you now have more than enough air for your engine, what it needs to burn. Now, if you want to make it go faster, you make the engine go faster, you turn up the boost, and now you have even higher volumetric efficiency. So we have achieved well above 100%. Now, when you have more air, you can deliver more fuel. If you deliver more fuel, you have more bang. But in an optimal world, if you don't drive like me or Eben, you'll get better fuel economy in a turbo. Well, I've never met anybody that had a turbo that didn't smash a little bit. So fuel economy in a turbo, kind of out of the question. So now it puts it into the fun category.
Let's hear about it.
Let's hear about the fun category. So you can take a turbocharger and put it onto a naturally aspirated engine. Now you would want a really, really low boost turbo. So you're talking 3 to 7 pounds of boost, not a whole lot more than that until we start doing specific modifications. Wayne said we should mic up next time. There's a lot of background noise. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, we got
guys.
to turn it. I'll have them turn it down a little bit.
Well, no, it's going to be on the Facebook side.
I know.
Not on the YouTube side.
Yeah, just keep going on.
So, all right. So we have a turbocharger that's pushing in more air than the engine needs. So actually, to get the same power, you can use less fuel and back off the throttle. But we're not about less fuel. We're not about backing off the throttle. If you got a turbo, you want to hear go, because that's the fun sounds that a turbo can make. So what people will do is they'll upgrade their turbos, and unless you do modifications to an engine, your upgraded turbocharger is going to blow your motor into little tiny pieces all over the place. Modifications required to put a turbo on a non-turbo vehicle, first and foremost. There we go. First and foremost, you need an upgraded fuel system. Upgraded fuel system is going to include a stronger fuel pump that can provide more volume of fuel. Some cases, depending on the size of the turbo you're going to also need to increase the size of your fuel lines and fuel rail to be able to handle that. Also, you need to adjust the size of or the flow rate of your injectors. So, for example, I've already done all the homework on my Mustang to know what I have to do to turbocharge my Mustang. First things first, I have to lower the compression just by a little bit. Optimal for a turbo is anywhere between 8 to 1 to 8 to 9 to 1. Okay, 8
right,
or
I'm
9
back.
to 1. Fantastic.
So
Welcome
a little bit of a bomb scare.
Whoa.
So we might be it might be too loud in here, so we might need to find somewhere else, Jeff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Am I too loud?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we're fine.
All right. Fair
I
enough.
don't know. They were just saying that they want to keep it at a certain level with the music in here.
That's fair.
So it's just one of those things. So
Fair. Well, we're being
find,
needy schmucks. It's okay.
yeah.
All right. So we were on turbos. We're talking about what you have to do if you want to go above a little bit of boost. So above a little bit of boost is a lot of bit of boost, right?
Yep.
So like I was saying, we have to do modifications to the engine. One of the modifications is lowering the
Let me get
compression
some
ratio.
chopsticks, Jeff.
Absolutely. One
Thank
for you,
you.
one for me.
Thanks.
So a couple of ways to lower the compression ratio. One of the ways to lower the compression ratio is to change the stroke of the piston, how far it goes up. Another thing you can do is get a dished piston. A dished piston actually, as opposed to being a flat top or one with just little notches in it, it actually goes lower, and it's a cup, which increases the size of your combustion chamber at top dead center. Another way is to get a cylinder head that has a little bit higher of a chamber, anything to give more space when the piston is all the way up. So compression ratio is important. You want it lower for a turbo. Not going to go into more details than that. You also need to make sure you have a good airway. So you want to make sure you have good high flow valves. Now, porting and polishing, not as important on the turbo. Do you know why, Eben?
Why?
Because it doesn't care. It is going to force the air in there no matter what you do. So porting and polishing is wonderful if you're doing a naturally aspirated engine and you want good low end torque or high end torque depending on how you set up. Well, great thing about a turbo, it doesn't care about that. It's shoving the air in no matter what you do. One of the complaints on turbos that people have is called turbo lag. Turbos run off the exhaust. So as you stomp the gas, your exhaust comes out quicker. The quicker the exhaust comes out, the faster it spools the turbo up. We have two sides of a turbo. We have a hot side and a cold side. The hot side is what the exhaust goes through, and it hits a little fan and it spins the fan. The other side is the cold side. It uses the energy of that fan to suck air in and shove it into the engine as hard as you have it set to do. Okay, so we have two devices that help control the turbo spooling and how much air you're getting into the engine. One is called a wastegate and one is called a blow-off valve. A wastegate is in the exhaust, and what it does is it opens a valve, and that valve adjusts how much exhaust goes over the little fan blades. More exhaust, faster fan, bigger boom. So if you are under a low demand, let's say you don't need all that throttle, the wastegate's going to sit about a neutral position, so the turbo is continually spinning, but it's not actually boosting. At a cruise speed in a turbo vehicle, you're not actually in boost. You're basically at whatever engine vacuum you have. Now you stomp in on it, right? First thing it does is it shuts that wastegate and gives all the power to the turbo, okay? Then you have your thing called the blow-off valve. The blow-off valve job is to, as soon as you let off that throttle, because you've just been spooling up that turbo, you've built up all that pressure in the intake. Now, if you close that throttle plate by letting your foot off the gas and the turbo has all that pressure beforehand, you're going to start blowing things into little tiny pieces all over the place. Really bad. So the blow-off valve does exactly that. When you hear a turbo car and it goes, that sound is it releasing all the built-up pressure in the intake manifold so you don't blow your engine apart. Cool. So what do common modifications to that? People will adjust their wastegate to get their turbo to spin up faster sooner. Another thing they'll do, and this is just for shits and giggles and funny, they'll put like this horn on their blow-off valve. You can make a blow-off valve silent if you want to, but everybody wants to hear, and you want to hear, these are all the wonderful turbo sounds that I love so much.
Good fun.
But that's basically the operation of the turbo. You're using exhaust gas, which your car's already providing, to force air inside. So there is a small lag, it's what they call turbo lag, into stomping the gas and getting the response. Now this lag is minimal. And what the manufacturers have done to fix that lag is they actually have an actively working wastegate to keep the turbo ready to spool at a moment's notice. Now, that's important because you win the race as soon as you hit the gas. Last person to hit the gas loses for the most part, unless you're in a stupidly overpowered car and you're just teasing the other guy. And if you're teasing the other racer, good on you, because that's funny. But turbocharged vehicles need more maintenance. Turbocharged vehicles need proper maintenance. They need proper spark plugs. They need proper cooling system care. They need proper
Oil cooling.
oil cooling. So this is where Eben's going to step in. Eben's going to talk about the importance of the oil cooling the turbo. Now, one thing I'm going to cover real quick because it's on the air side. A good turbocharged system has what's called a charge air cooler. So basic principle, as you compress something, it generates heat by compression because you're pushing all the molecules together closer at a fast rate. So that superheats the air, not superheats, but it, oh, here we go, and all right, cool. So basically what it does, it creates the high temperature air. You don't want to shove that high temperature air into your intake because that will not be a cold, dense charge. So we take that hot air off the cold side of the turbo. I know we're getting confusing. We run that to an intercooler, or also known as a charge air cooler. It's an air-to-air heat exchange. So hot turbo air goes into this thing that kind of looks like a radiator. Cold or fresh air hits that, cools it down a little bit, then it goes back into the intake, goes to the throttle valve, then it goes into the intake manifold, it mixes with the fuel, goes into the combustion chamber, and boom, we have it. A couple other little nuanced things for that. The cooler you can make the air, the denser the charge of oxygen going into the engine, the more horsepower you can make. So you could take 2 runs, and we actually had a Subaru do that thing, right? 2 runs, same car. If the outside air temperature is different for both runs, your horsepower and your foot-pounds of torque are going to be different, because the higher the temperature, the further the molecules are apart, and the less of a good burn that you get. So that being said, there's one other step you can do while Eben finishes his last 2 bites. You can get a water methanol injection system. This is cool as hell. So right before that super dense charge hits the intake, it gets this injection of water and methanol. It's called an ice system or a snow system. And it mixes this super cold vapor in with the air, which automatically super chills the air, condenses it down, brings all the oxygen molecules closer together, puts that in the cylinder. Now you have plenty of fuel, plenty of oxygen, big bang, faster car. So Eben, what can we do to protect this super awesome thing?
That's a great question, Jeff. Jeff asks all the good questions.
Let's do it. You tell me about it,
Well,
sir.
first things first, you want to start by wetting your whistle. Take this water, for instance. I'd like to make a little cheers for a little peace and quiet.
Cheers for a little peace and quiet.
A little peace and quiet. If she gives me a little peace, I'll be quiet.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, now back to the serious. Now back to the serious stuff. If there is such a thing. But so basically, you got a couple different things with oil. You got the detergents that keep it from oxidizing, breaking down. It gets thicker. It kind of turns into a paste if you let the oil sit too long. It expires, it kind of thickens, and it just doesn't circulate well. So one of the things you can do is you can run a high detergent oil, which is good. That would be like an Amsoil Signature Series, 100% synthetic. Lasts 1 year, 15,000 miles.
15,000 in a turbocharged vehicle?
In a turbocharged vehicle. Before they didn't have that specification. Now the protection's that good. And you
That's
do
amazing.
one oil filter. Yep. So on a little teeny weeny Subi or one of these little turbo Civics now, these little Mickey Mouse Civics are making 200 horsepower, Jeff.
Good golly.
I think they're a 1.5 or a 1.8 liter, Jeff.
You got the 1.6 and the 1.8. Those are the real good ones. And then you got a 2.0 that's pretty freaking stout.
Wow.
So Honda's got a couple of really fun engines.
So
out there.
Honda's a great product. If you're thinking about,
Oh yes.
tell them more, Jeff.
Oh,
tell them how
gosh.
great they are.
I got a Honda. I actually have 2 Hondas.
I had a Honda.
He had a Honda. He had a Honda Fit that he loved.
I had a Honda Accord, never a Fit yet.
Oh, I thought you had the Honda Fit.
But I love the fiddle with the Fit. I tell you what, those cute little cars are so adorable, Jeff. It's a 1.5 liter.
Oh yeah, but the gas miles. So you got a couple of things you can do with a Honda. So back in the good old days, before they made a movie called Fast and the Furious, me and the homies, I'm gonna drop some names: Justin, Andy, Chris, Daryl, Jamie. I mean, there's a whole group of us.
Now, if you're just getting to the channel, leave a comment below. We're gonna be answering everyone's comments. We see we got a lot of people. Manuel Nunez, Earl, we got James, we got Dan, we got Hector. We got a lot of our good people all the time, always on the channel. Thanks for being a part of the community. If you're new to the channel, definitely stick around. We're going to be getting into a lot more stuff on protection.
Yeah.
So Jeff and I are just getting warm. You know, Jeff hasn't even wet his whistle yet, so he's just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
And for me, I feel better after that ginger dressing. It's pretty darn good. So now it's not too loud in here, so we're here actually.
It's gonna be a little bit better now.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
So,
yeah, what we were getting into, Jeff?
we're about to talk about Jeff's Fast and the Furious experience. So we used to do street racing, legal racing, mildly legal racing. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Possibly illegal. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. Statute of limitations is what? Way beyond me being 16.
Yes.
So we would go out there, and our friend Daryl, he had the most amazing Honda Civic I've ever been in my life. I'm going to lie to you if I tell you the year, but I want to say it was 93, 94, 95, little Civic hatch, beautiful green, like a seafoamy green. And he had the H22 Prelude engine, turbocharged to the hilt. It was the only vehicle I had ever been in that did low 9s in the quarter mile. Yeah. We're talking a Mickey Mouse Honda Civic, which this was not a Mickey Mouse Honda Civic. He did low 9s. Super Mouse, Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse. After he was done with the run, what we would do, because we didn't have the water methanol injection, we would take bags of ice. And we put giant bags of ice on his intake manifold to cool it off for the next pass. I remember riding home with him from the racetrack back to the house. That thing put me in my seat. I felt like I was in a jet airplane taking off. So with an H22 motor, I don't know what he was pulling in boost. No idea, and it doesn't make a crap of difference. He had this thing dialed in, low 9s, frickin' wow. Then he got the, when the Type R spoon motor came out, right, for the Acura Integras, he got one, put it in there. One weekend at the Raceway, turbocharged blasted it. Little tiny pieces everywhere. So he went back to his H22 Prelude motor and smashed. So yeah, I want to say thank you to everybody who's on watching us. I got Lana Turner. I got
Thanks, everyone.
Sadie and Stephen Floyd.
Yep.
That's Diesel Steve.
Diesel Steve is a big part of the channel. Thanks, Diesel Steve.
Anthony Wayne Edie.
Yep.
And I gotta say much love to Linda Hebert. She's my Facebook guru. If you see us on Facebook, she's the ringleader, the headmaster, the head honcho. So Linda, thank you for everything you do.
Thanks, Linda. Really appreciate you.
So let's talk about protecting our turbos, Eben.
Yeah, so back to, you know, what goes through these turbos. A lot of time, what cools them? Well, a lot of time, oil actually flows through this big, long system, goes around and around and around, and basically it goes through the turbo and it pulls heat out of it. Now, some turbos, I guess, there's a heat exchanger with the coolant and the oil.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of times, too. But no matter what, your heat, the heat really just gets into those engines a lot more.
Oh, God, yes.
And you don't really realize how important it is until a turbo snail finally gets coked up. It finally burns out. The bearing gets hot and it just totally comes apart.
Yeah.
And then you end up paying how much money to have it fixed?
Oh my gosh. Cheap end 1,000, worst case 3,000 or 4,000, depending on the car.
Yeah, so
And what did the turbo damage? Did it blast the entire motor? Because if it took out the motor, now you need an engine and a turbo.
and that on like a Mercedes beans, you better have the beans on a beans, but
That's $20,000 to do a
Or
motor swap
more.
on one of those 5.5s with the twin turbos.
or more, yeah.
Oh, sickening.
So yeah, the turbo is a big deal, and it has less emissions when it's running correctly with
Yeah.
the catalytic converter and these PCV valves and all that stuff.
They're amazing.
They are, and then they can make tremendous output, but in the same token, there's nothing like they say there's no replacement for displacement, like an old big block Chevy. I like what's his name, Jay Leno. He goes, "You see this? This is my Corvette here. You basically fix it with a hammer." And I love when he says that. I think it's hilarious. It's not that simple, but the point is, it's a lot more simple than most other engines. And
As we've talked, what show are we on? 20, 21?
we're on 20.
Oh,
Show number 20.
oh my God, that's 2 decades.
20
We've
weeks.
been doing this for 2 decades.
That's how long it is in the tech world,
That's right.
right?
So it really boils down to what we've been talking about this entire time. Maintenance. Maintenance, maintenance, maintenance.
So what should they be doing, Jeff?
Well,
This is a master technician in the battlefield
Let-
for
let
how many
me-
years, Jeff?
Shoot.
Let them know we got new subscribers.
My gosh, 20 years.
Jeff's been in the battlefield for 20
Woo.
years.
A
Military.
little bit longer, actually.
All-
But
all
that's
different
20,
facets.
25 years.
Yep.
So, how do you destroy a turbo? How do you destroy a turbo and a turbocharged engine, even? What's the best way?
Just run it out of oil.
Run it out. Okay, that's the first best way. Let's get to this is a more passive way.
All right.
Turbochargers do not like running lean. If you get a lean fuel air mixture in a turbo or a supercharged vehicle, you're in for some deep shit. It is going to smoke that turbo. It is going to get so hot that you are going to fuse the bearing and you're just going to blast everything. How do we stop from running lean, Eben?
We have to add more fuel.
Right. We need to have not just add more fuel, we need to also have good fuel, right?
How do we get good fuel, Jeff?
Well, you make sure to go one of the places that has top tier fuel. If you go on to Google top tier fuel, and it'll tell you every single manufacturer, whether it be Shell, Chevron, Texaco, AM, PM, whatever. It's the voluntary top tier fuel program. You want to put that because it's got the best detergents in it. Also, change your fuel filter if you have one. A restriction is lean. If you haven't done your spark plugs in a while, unburnt fuel actually works out to be lean. You'll have that
Wow.
fuel burning inside of the exhaust.
Wow.
We don't want that.
I didn't know that, Jeff.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty.
See, I learn stuff from Jeff all the time. Thanks, Jeff.
So yeah, that's it. I mean, turbos run hot. That's what you really, really, really want to take care of is your basic stuff. I mean, obviously, you need to have it dialed in. You need to make sure, especially if you're a tuner, you need to make sure that don't tune it yourself. Please go to a person with a dyno. Let them do it. Tell you another sad story. All right, we got time. We're about to switch to superchargers in about 5 minutes. Fair?
Of course.
All right.
And then we got to answer everyone's questions.
Oh my
here.
gosh, yes.
We don't have a whole lot. What do we got here? We got 20 people watching. If you're new, just getting here. If you're enjoying the content, definitely give it a thumbs up. It helps out. If you have a friend that could use help with their car,
Yeah.
send this to them. Share it with them. Let them
Yeah.
know. Say, hey, ask Eben and Jeff a bunch of silly questions. We'll answer anything.
Let's give out some phone numbers real quick.
All right, good
All right.
idea.
Get a pen and paper. All right, good.
All right, good.
All right.
There you go.
Eben, how do we get a hold of you at 2 o'clock in the morning?
2 o'clock in the morning, can't sleep. Have lots of questions about the product. It just is eating at you. More than anything in your whole life, your heart is palpitating. You stand up, you get up out of bed like this. You breathe in deep and you say, I got to learn more about this stuff. What do? You call Eben, 702-472-3614. Jeff, give it to him.
You can call me Call me at the shop, 702-433-5823. If you want to text me on the bat line, 702-907-9227. As soon as I get the text, I generally respond pretty darn quick because that comes directly to me. Shop, we're open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, and 9 to 4 on Sunday. So come in. We're always stocked with product. I got my my personal chauffeur here.
Yep.
He keeps me well stocked with all product. And if I get a new product in, it's because he even said, Jeff, you need to put this in your shop.
Yep.
So we got gear oil. We got 7590, 75140. What else?
Yeah, we got all the gear lubes, the severe gear. So if you want to tap your rear end. Now, we haven't done any power slaps in a while, and I know some of you are watching.
All right.
If you want to contribute to the channel, anyone at all that super chats, a $20 super chat, what that does is that goes into our giveaway. Jeff and I both share the money, and what that does is that goes towards everyone. So at the end of the month, if you don't know this, we do evens giveaway at the end of the month. We do Snap-on parts. We do a $100 gift card to Jeff's shop.
Yeah.
So basically,
it's awesome.
$100 no matter what you want. You get this card, and that card is your $100 key to any type of products you might want. If you want the car parts, Jeff will order for you.
You want something off the Snap-on truck.
And sometimes I get carried away. Sometimes I want to give too much almost. They say the more you give, the better you live.
Yeah.
And loving and giving makes life worth living.
100%.
And believe it or not, I actually had a thing where I ended up giving an extra $30 of stuff away to the guy that won. That's back about, I think, a month or two ago. So sometimes I get a little carried away. I just get people extra stuff to try it.
Yeah.
And you just got to do it sometimes. So if you want to be a part of that, all you do is just text me, my cell phone, share the channel. You can tag me on social media, but make sure ultimately you find my phone number in the description and text me your full name and let me know it's for the giveaway, a screenshot that you shared. So I have proof that you're helping out the channel, because everyone that helps the channel, we want to help back.
Yeah.
Because it's a reciprocating relationship. You know, we really appreciate everything you've done already. And we got so many subscribers that love the channel, and
awesome.
And they're really getting good feedback with the community section. So if there's anything you want, leave a comment in the community section. Say, hey, Eben, why don't you do this? Jeff, why the heck aren't you doing that?
Right.
You know, no matter what it is, we want to hear from you, because it makes us think about things, makes the channel better for everyone. So if you're watching this right now, share this bad boy, text it to a friend, let them know. Screenshot it on your phone. You just do a little screenshot, send it to me, and shaboo-boo, you're in.
So I mean, and just so you guys know, what I want to talk about and what Eben wants to talk about and what you want to hear, tell us what you want to hear. You know, you're liking and sharing. Throw a note in there, say, hey, you know what? I don't know about this. I'd like to learn more. You're going to get one of two answers. We're either going to say, hey, this was in show number XYZ, or B, hell yeah, we're going to do that next week or week after. I mean, if it's something you want to know about, I don't want to know about it. I already know.
Now,
and whatever I don't know, I'm going to go read.
Coming up in 10 minutes, we're going to be talking about the Oh Humpy Bread van. We had a van from over Deuce Pahrump. That's Pahrump, Nevada.
Wow.
It's a French bakery, and that's right, we got the oil analysis right here.
Oh my gosh.
So keep your shoes and socks on, get ready to run.
Oh my gosh, let me see.
Yep, we're not going to get into it too much. We got to give you just a little taste.
Are you kidding me?
We got to give you a little taste. This
I can't show you yet.
17,000 miles of driving on one oil change.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And they sell their French bread here in Vegas, but let's answer some questions, Jeff.
Let's do some questions.
Let's start at the top. We'll start at the very top here. We got...
Oh, wait, and I'm going to throw one more thing. If you have a turbo, great idea. Anthony put it in here.
Yes.
Get an EGT, exhaust gas temperature sensor.
Yes.
That will help you know. It'll let you know. And then also wideband O2 sensors. You can even get a little gauge on your dash that has your lean fuel air mixture. You want better than stoic, or you want a little bit lower than stoic ratio. So,
yep.
Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Manuel Nunez. What's up, guys? What's up, Manny? Good to see you. We got Earl Arnold. Hi, guys. Good to see you, Earl. We got James. How there is engine flush. Are there any flushes or additives, especially for turbos and superchargers? Or does the typical flush and engine additives do that on top of cleaning the engine? Exactly.
Absolutely.
So you just get a bottle of the engine flush, whoop, you stick it in your crankcase, you idle the car for 10 to 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, boom, you drop the whole crankcase out. Oil comes out like water. You'll see a million flush videos on the channel. Go to the home section, go through the playlist, click on engine flushes. You'll see all my videos on them. We did Ferraris, we did BMWs, Audis,
done them all.
You name it, we pretty much did it. Hondas, everything. Coming on, Cousin Transportation World. Have 2016 Suburban. Dealer said they did blended oil, even though it requested full synthetic. So they basically at the dealer, they said they use blended oil. So that's common.
So let me jump in on this, because you know what? So I feel, and this is, I'm gonna get my soapbox. I'm gonna stand on it right now. So they came out with 0W20 and Dexos 5W30. Now, as an end user, I have not been able to buy semi-synthetic 020 or semi-synthetic 530 that meets the Dexos 2 requirements now, right? So I don't know where the hell they're buying that from, but if I had the option to get a full synthetic 0W20 or a synthetic blend 0W20, and I guarantee you they're charging a good price for the synthetic blend, go 100% synthetic. Why not? And like I said, I don't know where they found it. I don't know who makes it, but I don't have it. Even my cheap oil for the Dexos and the 020, still full synthetic. It's not.
It's like climbing K2. You want to tell someone you drove or walked 70% up Mount K2?
Yeah, no
way. You're not going to tell anybody
crap
about that. You want to make it to the top 100% of the way, to the tippy top point right here. So that's what you do when you use these products. They're 100% synthetic, so there's none of that extra additives, none of the extra fillers or junk. So then we're coming on down to Dan Gragroria. Hello from Cleveland. What's up?
Hey, what's
Good seeing you.
happening?
My ostentatious, bodacious bro Dan. We got Hector D. Armanda Baba. What's the difference between a blow-off valve and a wastegate? Also, what's their purpose? That's a great question.
Okay, I think we did discuss those, but I'll just give you a quick rundown.
Yep.
Wastegates on the exhaust manifold side of the turbo. It's what controls how fast we want to spin the turbo. Blow-off is when you let off the gas pedal. It's what lets the excess pressure inside the intake out so it doesn't blast things to pieces. And that's what they are, and that's what their purpose is.
That's pretty much it.
That's it.
Give it to him, Jeff. Now we're going to go on the Facebook side.
All right.
So if you haven't liked Jeff's page on Facebook, Express Lube and Auto Repair on Facebook, you're going to see Jeff's big old beard, and that beard has a lot of application. You haven't seen much with it yet, but he does magic with the beard.
Ooh, yeah.
Did I say that out loud?
Beard magic. I have beard magic.
But so Jeff here, big hotshot magician here in Vegas, and he's really coming around. It's amazing to see his development.
Yeah, enjoying it.
And he is the magic.
I am the magic mechanic.
So where do you find you, Jeff, on that?
Whoa, you can find us, well, there's a few ways to find us. First off, come on down. You got a 50-50 shot of showing up at the shop and seeing Eben there, because that's what we do. 5400 East Tropicana in Las Vegas, Nevada. And if you don't find us there, you find us on Facebook, Express Lube and Auto Repair in Las Vegas, Nevada. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram. Instagram, I'm the Magic Mechanic, and Facebook, I'm just Jeff Lockett. It's kind of boring, but that's me.
Yeah, so what I'll do is we'll go ahead and stick in the description. Once the video's over, I'll stick Jeff's Insta game in there.
Yeah.
You gotta follow Jeff.
Yeah.
He'll surprise the heck out of you. He's doing stuff I've never even seen before.
You ever seen somebody do a push-up with a beard? I know. I'm working on it. It'll happen. Trust me.
He surprises me all the time. I never know what's going on.
We don't know. We have no idea what's coming out of my mouth next.
All right. I forgot where we were. Now, is there anyone over there that has any questions, Jeff, on Facebook?
we've pretty much covered the questions. Anthony had asked us about mentioned the exhaust gas temperature. Anthony also said that he wants to call you at 2 o'clock in the morning even.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, he's definitely going to do it.
So yeah, so here in Vegas, it's the city that never sleeps. If you want to go down on Fremont Street, 2 o'clock in the morning, have nothing better to do with yourself but to go down and see what's going on.
Yeah.
You can walk around to and fro. There's all different types of people from all over the world. Give a little example: France, Italy, Spain, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Mexico, Portugal, Venezuela, Vietnam, Iran, Iraq, Iceland, Poland. Those are a lot of the people I used to see down there on a regular basis. So if you want to go see all those different people, come to Las Vegas, go walk around Fremont Street at 2 o'clock in the morning.
And have a hell of a time.
And yeah, you'll see everything. So
That's one of my favorite spots to go hang out. Honestly, we have all of Las Vegas. When I have friends and family come out here, I go down to Fremont Street. You have, a mile stretch of nothing but fun. You have street performers. You have Olaf smoking meth. I mean, you've got Iron Man that smells like Jim Beam. We're talking nothing but fun stuff. You got gambling, you got drinking, you got just good times.
Yeah, you got the ladies of the night.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes.
If you've ever seen a showgirl with an appendectomy scar, you were on Fremont Street.
I don't even know what the hell that is,
Ooh,
Jeff.
appendix. When you have an appendix removed, it's called an appendectomy. It's one of them wonderful words.
That's good. See, Jeff really, he's a word owner. He loves owning the words, and when he says them perfect. It's good. It's good stuff,
You have
Jeff.
to. You have to enunciate. So now, we are on the topic of superchargers. Ready?
Let's do it, Jeff.
1, 2. Try to catch it. 3. Wait for it. Aha! There it is.
That's incredible, Jeff.
It's magic.
It's beautiful.
All right, so
Superchargers. Now, I'd love to know, what's your favorite supercharged car? Leave it in the comment section below.
Please.
We want to hear it. We'll call them out and let us know what your favorite supercharger is.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, we've got a few different types of supercharger. You have a Whipple. I like saying a Whipple. A Whipple supercharger bolts directly on top of the vehicle's intake manifold and is driven by a belt. And it looks really cool, and it has 2 large paddles. It's almost like oh yes, it's a screw action. So these paddles fold in on each other, forcing air down. You have a Vortec makes a they call it a centrifugal, right? A centrifugal supercharger.
Yep.
Which all superchargers are belt or shaft driven directly off the engine itself. So superchargers do not have a lag time, but people complain about what's called a parasitic drain. Because the supercharger is on your accessory drive belt, it is dogging down your engine this much. And this is the fight between turbo guys and supercharger guys. Turbo guys like, well, I got no parasitic draw, and the supercharger guys like, well, I don't have to wait for shit. That's basically how it goes. Well, either way, you have more the person who's naturally aspirated. So everybody shake hands and stomp on the other guys.
Yep.
But superchargers are really, really cool. They also run cooler. Now they do have versions of charge coolers for superchargers, especially not the Whipples, but with a centrifugal.
Prochargers.
Yeah, good old Procharger. It looks like a turbo. It really does, but it has a belt on it. And they do the same thing. They go through the charge air cooler back into the intake manifold. They don't have a wastegate per se. They actually tend to have a valve that'll just open up and go back into the low pressure side of the supercharger. So,
yeah, I had a little bit of experience with a Grand Sport Pro-Charged Corvette.
Oh!
Drove an automatic one.
Oh my gosh.
And I tell you what, it gave me a rush.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the automatic high horsepower cars really scare me because you don't know how they're going to drop back.
Yeah.
Give it like half throttle, you don't know what the hell's going to happen.
You don't know if it's going to downshift. At least if you're in a manual, you know you're downshifting. You're making that call.
I tell you what, that's a good way to scare someone with that stuff.
Oh yeah. I saw a funny picture today. It showed a Ford Mustang. Now we know I'm a Mustang guy, so I'm not talking shit. I'm just sharing a story.
Mustang.
Yes. It was looked like a mid 2000s, like 05, 06 with that body style. Not my favorite, but still, it's a Mustang.
Yeah.
And they had it on these big, aggressive, swamper-looking tires. You know what I mean, like some good off-road. And it said, "For those hard-to-reach crowds." Now, I don't know if you've ever heard the nickname, they call them crowd killers, because people will get a Mustang and they'll go to a car show and they'll stomp on their way out to roast some tires. Mustangs get squirrely fast.
I love those.
And they will, oh yeah, you'll sit and go, just type in crowd killer on YouTube, and as long as they're in a car and not with a gun, it's definitely a Mustang. So yeah, you know, for those hard to reach crowds that are up on higher curbs, maybe it's up a hill behind a tree, don't worry, we have the Mustang for you.
Yep.
So your favorite supercharged, you said you did a Corvette?
Yeah, that wasn't my favorite. My favorite was this weird experience. It was it's a little tough to talk about. Got a little post-traumatic stress syndrome from it. Scared the hell out of me.
Talk about it.
It was a 2014 Shelby GT500.
Oh my gosh.
And that's a 5.8 liter cast iron block, I believe.
Wow.
It's got a top mount supercharger. It's like a Roots type supercharger. And bone stock. It's 662 crank horsepower.
Wow.
And this had cat deletes, cold air intake, and it felt like about 711, 720 crank. And I tell you what, just rolling into second gear scared the heck out of me, rolling into third a little. And it's just one of those cars that it's got so much weight up front. It's just, it's a thing to play with.
Scary though.
But it's not really something to ragdoll or kind of like juggle it. If you start to juggle that car around,
it's going to have you. That's the crowd killer. I mean, that's why it gets
really
loose.
Could. And I tell you what, I'm not one to get scared about stuff, but I got butterflies and pushing in the clutch got in my head. Super heavy clutch to push in.
Yeah. Mustangs are notorious for having my knee. I have like a perpetual knee injury from that.
It completely scared the bejesus out of me. Have you ever had any nutty supercharger?
Two superchargers I really love, and then one just going to get a brief mention.
All right.
So let me do the brief mention first. Mercedes-Benz has the C230 compressor. Little 4-cylinder, 1.8 liter supercharged engine, and it's kind of cool because the supercharger in the Mercedes is clutch. So it doesn't engage the supercharger until it actually needs the extra boost. Aside from that, it's just a regular old-fashioned motor. They get wonderful gas mileage. My best friend, he had one for years. I took really good care of that thing. He took really poor care of that thing, and we still made it to 230,000 miles before he sold it.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so the two loved it superchargers. One I got to go in. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to drive the Terminator.
Holy hell.
Yeah. 2004 Ford Mustang Cobra with a T56 Tremtech 6-speed and a giant freaking blower on top of a dual overhead cam, 4.6 liter modular engine. Holy mother of God.
That's like 6 crank, right?
Oh, I don't even know what it was, but I know after I did the alignment, I had to verify the alignment was good. Wow. And it was great. Every bit of it was great. It was even good at 140. That's a good alignment, right?
That's 140 kilometers an hour, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course, 140K.
All right.
Yeah, no, because we're legal here.
Legal for what?
Well, street legal. I didn't break laws. You can't prove it either. We didn't even have dash cams back then. Okay, so the Terminator, tried and true. Everybody already knows about the Terminator. It is a it is a wonderful thing. Wayne's over here making the jokes. He loves the no-look cardistry, and so there's a procedure that's a medical procedure that he asked me to mention. I don't know if they do a lot of it here in the United States, but you can look it up. I think they do it a lot in Mexico. It's called an addictomy, just a different type of procedure. So, anyways, moving on to our superchargers. This was stop it! Don't laugh. I'm not allowed to laugh. Got to keep a straight face. Okay, lemon face. Okay, we got this. So, me and a technician of mine, we got a Mustang delivered to us, and the customer was in overseas. He was in Iraq for a year, and he brought us a $9,000 Kenny Bell Supercharger set.
That's a big deal. I love that name. It's like a big hotshot porn star name.
Yeah, Kenny Bell.
You guys got a Kenny Bell blower on you?
Yeah.
It's like, can I get a Supercharger? Like it's hilarious.
Oh, I'm telling you. So
Kenny Bell.
So this thing was a bolt-on kit. Now everybody says, oh, it's bolt-on. No. This thing was designed so well that every part I needed to do the job was there in the box. I didn't have to relocate anything that wasn't in the instructions to do so.
Wow.
We bolted this thing on, and it comes with a tuner already tuned to the vehicle. You plug the tuner in. Now, the one cool thing that it had, as opposed to changing out the fuel pump, and this is some dicey stuff, it had what's called a booster pump. Booster pump is just some weird, transformer, capacitor, I don't know. But as opposed to taking the standard 14 volts charging, it variates the pump between 16 and 18 volts. So it's basically just cranking the voltage in the pump when you lay into the gas. 36 pound-hour injectors. Holy mother of pearl. That vehicle was scary. You could be cruising in third gear doing, let's say you're just being reasonable, third gear doing about 45 or 50. If you smashed it, it let the tires go. I'm talking probably the most dangerous car I've ever driven in my life. It was a 5-speed, not a 6, so the first gear was that hopping gear, and then it just went up from there. Sad part of the story. Because I'm not disclosing information, the kid, after having the vehicle for about 3 or 4 months, got a DUI. Now in the military, when you get a DUI, almost a guarantee career ender.
Oh, that's terrible, Jeff.
So
Poor kid.
Yeah.
I thought we lost him there for a second, Jeff. You gave me butterflies.
He came back and he said, hey, you guys know the car, you know everything about it. He was willing to sell me the car for $8,000. Not even the cost of the Supercharger, on top of the $1,500 for the install, and then you have the cost of the vehicle. He was just done.
Did you get that, Jeff?
I didn't. Honestly, had I had that $9,000, I'd have popped it off.
We're lucky because we may not have Jeff here if
you
would have bought it.
That's a possibility, yeah, because that was a stupid car. That would have, probably a good thing that I didn't get that car.
Thank
Looking
God,
out
Jeff.
in the stars.
Thank God.
Yeah. Now that I'm older and more responsible, it's time to get me a stupidly retarded car, because I'll drive it more retarded but more responsibly.
So if we got any questions, let us know.
Yeah, what's our questions here?
If we got any questions, we don't have anything new, I don't think.
Uh-oh.
Let us know what you got.
Well, shoot.
Let's see how long we're in this thing for.
We're at 55 minutes currently.
Is that where we're at?
We're at 55 minutes. We still have a little bit to go.
All
Superchargers. Here we go. Superchargers don't generally use the oil of the vehicle, so superchargers actually require oil changes, and there is intervals to do oil changes on superchargers. I remember the supercharger that we installed on that crazy Mustang. We put in, I forgot the viscosity of it, but he had us add Royal Purple as the wet bath for it.
Wow.
I know that Redline makes a supercharger oil. I'm going to look and see if Amsoil makes any supercharger oil or something. There has to be.
Yeah, I think they have a couple different products for like hydraulics too.
Okay.
And all kinds of multi-purpose stuff. And then if you're not sure, there's actually an Amsoil technical support number. And I put that in every one of my video descriptions. Yes, please. The staff here is great.
They're awesome.
Amazing.
They love us. We love them.
They put up with us. You know, we're here in the corner. We don't really get that loud, or we haven't poured lube on anybody, have we, Jeff? I can't remember.
No, I think we've been pretty reasonable about it.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't think we did.
Yeah. Well, no, till later.
All right. All right. So yeah.
Let's.
What else, Jeff?
Well, so you got the. You know what? One of the really cool superchargers. I remember the first car that I was in that had a supercharger.
What was that?
1996 Pontiac Grand Prix GTP. Supercharged 3.8 VIN code 1.
I know that one.
Oh man. So it actually has, if you have one of these cool little things, it's got this cute little tiny fill plug and a cute little tiny drain plug for the oil. I want to say it holds like a half a quart, and the stuff that I bought it directly from GM.
Wow.
It was a GM Supercharger oil. But I remember thinking that was the coolest car I had ever been in because it had a supercharger.
Pontiac.
Oh man. And you know what? Still a pretty decent car. Not necessarily going to go buy one, but they're still not bad.
Yes.
Not bad. Fun stuff.
The Pontiac.
So what else? Superchargers. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Why did I leave this out? Diesel vehicles love super and turbochargers because it just makes them work better. A naturally aspirated diesel is not the greatest diesel I've ever driven. Don't get me wrong, and if you guys have a naturally aspirated diesel and you love it, good on you, keep loving it. But turbocharged diesels can put out some hell of horsepower, some hell of towing, and Wayne mentioned that you can also, let me use specific
Here is
phrasing.
a diesel scuff test on the diesel oil product, showing how they're different. And you can see the cross hatching, the way there's less wear on it. And that's the extra film that the 100% synthetic puts between it. And this right here is actually good on diesels. So this meets and exceeds the CH4 diesel, CL4 plus API, and wet clutch. So this actually meets a lot of wet clutch fluid as well. And that's what makes this such a good dual purpose oil.
That's awesome.
And it's good for up to 25,000 miles of normal driving with diesels.
Cool.
So yeah.
So I did have a question. I'm going to put this one on Eben.
Go ahead.
Lana said his friend had a Cosworth Vega supercharged station wagon, laid rubber. Yeah, Vegas, Pintos, they made some really insane drag cars out of those. So I think I saw a Vega when I was younger, and the tires
There's another oil.
had this much room between them. So, all right, so I'm going to ask you, Eben. We have James Taylor II. My car calls for 5W20, but I understand.
Thanks for taking care of us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Says, I understand that 020 is best for fuel economy. So, how do you feel about a vehicle that calls for 520 and you put 0W20 in it? What's that do to you?
I don't think you're going to really hurt anything. I mean, I think the worst thing you could do is end up saving your battery so it lasts longer. Less draw on it when you cold start it. I don't think you're going to hurt anything. I mean, obviously, if your engine's leaking like crazy, you wouldn't want to put a 020 in.
Oh, but I don't know if we.
It could run out.
I don't know if we discussed that last week or if this is just something I read in my head. But you know, they talked about if you use synthetic, your vehicle's going to leak. If your vehicle leaks, it's going to leak. If you use synthetic and it leaks, it's going to clean it and it's going to leak more. Not the oil's fault.
Yeah, it's not going to damage your car. Yeah.
No. So I'm going to say 020. And Anthony Wayne Edie mentioned it's called rolling coal. That is when you stomp a diesel vehicle and leave something or someone in a huge cloud of black smoke. It's kind of funny. All right, so we have some oil analysis to go over, Mr. Eben.
Yeah, you know what? We're just going to get your toes wet. So if you're new to the channel, definitely check out the oil analysis playlist. You go to my homepage when you get to the channel, click on playlists, you'll see oil analysis. We did the 20,000 mile Uber Lyft field study.
Nice.
So I myself personally got out in the battlefields. I drove Uber and Lyft basically in the heat of the summer. At nighttime, it's about 95, 100 degrees out. I drove some afternoons, not that often, but it just kind of depends. I did, sometimes I would work 11:50 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. in the morning. So I would do a lot of the strip club runs.
Yeah,
I would do all different people getting off work, people going to work. And I completed 10,000 miles on the first oil filter. And that was a Wix oil filter, which you'll see in the video.
Okay.
And then I changed the oil filter out and I topped off a little bit of oil. And we did that 20,000 mile oil change. The oil was still good. It did thicken quite a bit.
Okay.
So as the oil thickens, you will lose a little bit of gas mileage. If you're in a really cold climate, you could have a little slower starting, but the actual film was still good. The oxidation was still good.
Wow.
The oil was still good. You could actually change the oil filter again, topped it off with another 0.3 quart.
Yeah.
And you could still continue to run that oil.
Wow, that's awesome.
And that's in severe service here in Las Vegas, just sitting in people's apartment complex, because half the time you're sitting there waiting for people, and idling with the AC on is one of the hardest things on the oil.
Yeah, it is.
So that's one test. Then we have the oil analysis test on my personal Corvette.
Okay.
We did 11,200 miles on the car. I ragdolled it for 13 months, shredding around to and from Pahrump, going to Supercar Sunday, Woodland Hills, California.
Wow.
Going to Arizona. 11,200 miles in 13 months I put on my Corvette.
Wow, that's not bad, not bad.
My sump size is only 6.4 quarts on a C5. That's a 5.7 liter LS1 engine.
All right.
So it's a fairly small crankcase, so it's going to beat the hell out of the oil because you have less oil to beat up on.
Yeah.
So the oil was still good on that. You can check that video out. And now we're on to death.
Death.
And you say, what's death?
What's death?
A 2002 Dodge 1500B van.
Wow.
And Jeff and I actually flushed this little angel. You'll see that in the playlist.
We've actually done a lot of work on the Humpy Bread van.
It's a pink Humpy Bread van, and they come to and fro all over, selling their bread, their mouflons, all that stuff.
Oh.
And it's good stuff, but you don't want to watch the sugar. But they actually sell it here at the Las Vegas Farmers Market. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out.
Where's the Las Vegas Farmers Market at?
It's at downtown Summerlin.
Oh, okay.
So check out downtown Summerlin. It's like up on 215.
Charleston.
And in that area, right near Red Rock.
Cool.
So here's the oil analysis.
All right.
We got a couple of wear metals and stuff like that. But the oil is, we can't tell you everything right now. We're actually going to call tech support live when we do the video. So you'll get a chance to hear what tech support says. But 17,000 miles of severe driving to and from Pahrump in the heat of the summer, 9 months. And we'll be back to give you all the information on that. So definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel. You'll be able to see that video. Now, Jeff, we got to wrap it up here as my phone's going to die.
Oh, yes. Let's wrap it up. We already hit the mark.
Anything else, Jeff?
Okay, Big Matt McDermott wants to come in tomorrow.
Thanks, Matt.
Evening, guys. Great timing on oils analysis.
We got your oil filter for you. We got the oil wrench for him, and we're going to get him a small flashlight.
Yeah.
Matt won the last giveaway.
And he's coming on the Snap-on truck.
Yep. Matt's coming over.
Nice. So yeah. Super stoked. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, Matt.
Yep.
So
that pretty much sums it up, Jeff.
Yeah. So let's give numbers real quick.
Go ahead.
We have
702-472-3614, 1 o'clock in the morning. Absolutely, your brains are fried. You feel as though you just can't live. You can't even think. You can't even, I can't say it on here. But if that happens, you call me. All the pressure goes away. I promise. Jeff, give it to him.
And if you got to call me, if you got to call Jeff, Express Lube and Auto Repair on 5400 East Tropicana, 702-433-5823. And if you want to get a hold of me on the bat line is 702-907-9227. Send me a text. I'd love to chat with you. If you're in Vegas, stop by the shop. Let me know ahead of time. Eben will be there with shake hands, take selfies, and play with some Amsoil.
Yes.
I'm down.
If
So,
it ain't wet, it ain't protected, and if it ain't protected, it ain't wet.
That's right.
That's why the wetter the better. Just want to wet your rubbers, make sure they're always well lubed,
Yeah.
and your engine, trans, and differential will always thank you.
So go ahead and give us a like down here, right?
Yep.
And go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you know right away when it happens. Go ahead and hit the Facebook like button for me.
Yep.
Or tell your friends about it and share the page.
And hit the notification bell.
Yes.
That way when we go live at
Oh.
6:30 p.m. next
Yes.
Thursday, you'll see us again.
And Facebook has the same thing. You can get notified every time the
Yep.
shop goes live. So
All right, Jeff.
let's do that. Huh?
Cheers
To
protection.
Boom. Yes. Now it's the awkward moments
Yes.
where we come up
Yes.
and stare really closely
Yep.
at our friends on Facebook. We'll call this the after action review.
Yes,
So ladies
yes.
and gentlemen, this is a fantastic
There's Jeff.
show.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. There's Jeff. Yes.
Hey,
And here's
people
the computer.
helping people watching people.
Yep. There's the computer. There's Jeff joking around.
Anthony Wayne Edie says he
Yes.
wants a magic trick before we go.
Give it to him,
So,
Jeff. Give it to him.
What do I got?
Give it
you
to
know
him.
what? I got it. We said the beard.
I got it, Jeff.
All right,
I got
you got it?
I got it. Give it to him, Jeff.
So we said the beard was a wonderful place to hide magic, and I actually do. I keep my magic well hidden in the beard.
Oh my God, Jeff.
Nice.
That's incredible.
Boom shakalaka.
All right.
Thanks, you guys.
Jeff. Yep.
Thanks, Wade. Thanks everybody for watching, and
Beautiful.
we'll see you next week.